and I had told my people this was we gon' we averaged down on one of our plays, and we averaged down on our app loving play. We got it at a perfect time too. We averaged down on app loving at what it was, y'all, 566. We got it at a right time, and I'll give y'all the synopsis on what we did. So we bought the play early in the year when we got it on a nice run up going forward, and then it sold off. And it sold off from where we bought it at all the way down. And so we bought it, the options contracts was going for 138. And so it fell. It just went in a macro downtrend. Well, a micro downtrend. So today it fell, and I was looking at it, and I said, all right. I saw they had liquidity at 525. It closed at five, like right at 560 something, 545. They had liquidity at, and it closed right at like 550 something. So I put it in. I said, hey y'all, we're gonna get it right here. Now, yeah, I mean, so I knew they had some liquidity right there, and I paid attention to where it closed at. So it got really close to yeah, T, go sit down, bro. Go go sit down, dog. Um and so what I did was just looking at the chart. Um, Chap, can you tell the ETF of precious metals, please? Now go look at something. So I saw the liquidity right there. I saw the liquidity right here at like 545. And so I went in the Patreon and I said, hey y'all, here's the goal right here. I said, we're gonna average down right here on this app loving play. I said and I kind of give them a breakdown. I said there's liquidity right here at 545. It was trading at 566. I said we had a previous close right here. We had a liquidity right here. So it may come close to either or. I said the goal is for it to snatch some of that liquidity at 545. I said, but from 545, there's a gap at 525. I said, so if you go 545, that can be some liquidity for it to grab gap and go back up. Or it may go down to 545 where there's a liquidity pool at 540, at 525. So that would be our average downs if we was to get it again. Like I said, so if it came down, if we getting it right here at 566, my next buy would be at 525 in that area, and that'll bring our plays down. So one of the things we did was, and I only do this I only do this if a play falls hard and the overall group is up. So there's a difference between if the overall group is up and this play is taking a hit, then we got to look at it and say, okay, like what's the issue with the play? And we got to identify that and the overall group is up as a whole, then we know there's a good chance that this play could follow. And so looking at App Loving, we've played it so many times this year, made a lot of money off it. The stock is up 70% year to date. So we know, it's just a pullback. 70% up, that means it's up massively. We got to play out to March. So I said, here's the game plan, y'all. Um, and so I told him that. And then what we did was, um, we got in at 566. I put it in the chat. I think I got something to show you. I think I can show it to y'all on here. Yeah, I think I can. So there we go. I think there go right there because I put the snapshot in the group. So if you see, we got in at 566. You can see that's where it closed at previous day. Let me just see if I can. Yeah. So we got in at 566. If you look at 566, you can see that there's liquidity underneath there between 566 and probably about 562-ish, something like that. But if you notice, there was a close previous to that. And so what we did was we kind of, sometimes things happen really, really well. And we got it right at 566. Like we kind of hit that one on the head. I ain't gonna lie to you. We kind of struck that one on the head. Um, that was a good, but if you look right across from it, you see there's an equal low. You see those three wicks right across from it, 1, 2, 3. It's kind of equal low. And so what right there is it stopped right previous to the equal low and then it reversed. And so we got in at 566 and I kind of looked at those equal lows and saw, I was like, it'll either hit those equal lows or it'll come on and get that liquidity at the bottom. It kind of snatched right before those equal lows. That's why you got to kind of look at it from a zone perspective. It got right at those equal lows and then it just reversed around. And so we kind of got in at 566 before that long green candle started. And then I told him, so our initial buy in the stock was trading at 138, which was probably mean it's about 13,000. And so now I was trading at, I think, 55. And so I explained to him that if you buy one contract right now probably take your premium under $100. And so what happened was we bought the one contract. I think I bought more. We bought more, but I gave him an explanation. I said, if you buy this one contract, it'll bring your premium from 138. It'll probably get you under $100, what you want to see. And I told them, yo, I bought this. I don't know how many share contracts. I think I bought 20. No, I think I bought 10. I think I bought 10. So it brung mine all the way down to $78. So I want you to think about that. Imagine our initial premium being one. Imagine our initial premium being $138, but then now it's trading at $55. So imagine buying it at $55, and now your premium come all the way down to $78. And because we got it out to March, that initially now brings our cost basis down. So now instead of having to wait for the premium to go back above 138 before we can try to see profit, we buy that one contract, bring it all the way down to 78. Now, if it gets to 78, now we can see, now going above 78, we see profit. And immediately once we did that, the whole thing turned around. And so we was able to get that big green candle. Now I want you to see something. You see that big green candle, which is buys at control. And then you get a candle over candle, but you see some selling pressure. Notice that green candle before at 589.74. Notice at the end of the day, it stopped at that same spot, which means there's some type of resistance right above that. So now you know that there's have sellers above that, and you gotta, yep, you buy your losses back 100%, right? You own it. So now we know that there's that. So then I came back and said, okay, we still in a we still in a micro downtrend, y'all, but we got some up on that. So we have now what's called a higher low. A lower high, I'm sorry, based on that. So it created a lower high at that same level. So we needed to do now is I told him we needed to see a break somewhere around 604, 603 to jump above that. And then above that, we need to see a break above probably 618 to 620. Because then we can take those sellers out, that selling pressure out. So I told him we get above 618, we break 620, then I feel that buyers have reclaimed the situation, which would be really good. So just kind of give them a little forecast on what's happening. So now we know both ways. If it breaks below 566, we know there's liquidity at 545. We know there's liquidity sitting there right at 560, right 545. Then there's a gap at 525. That's the downside. On the upside, we see if we can break probably 604 and then break above 620. That's called buy side pressure. If we got that buy side pressure like that, then we now know that buyers have reclaimed. It is now what's called change characters. If you want to be technical, it has now changed character from a downside micro structure to now upside buy side pressure. So just kind of try to give them a little forecast of what I saw and what we were looking toward, and it kind of just went the way you know what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to act like man, I saw something that nobody can see. You know, it's just we got to commit to it. And no truth. Let me say this: every trader will see the market different. You got to be okay with that. You know, I don't compare myself to nobody. And I don't try to be out here and be like, yo, I'm the greatest to ever do it. I don't feel like that. Let me see something. You sold your initial Netflix with the boycott. For those who still holding the average down, do you think they would cover? Man, hell yeah. So here's why. Here's why. So I didn't sell. So let me say that. That's a good assumption. So let me answer that too. So I initially sold a Netflix play that I was in, and I was down on it. And I try to give my people my reason and thought process for everything. So I told my people, I said, listen, there's this boycott stuff around Netflix right now from Elon Musk. You can stay in the play till January. We have it to January. But I'm getting out of it because I just don't like the boycott energy. And I said, you can stay in it because I'll probably get back in it because my call is Netflix to 1400. And so, and I think the call is not up till January. So I still think that Netflix is showing signs of stock split soon. Not really. What signs you see? Tell me the signs you see. And I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I'm just saying, show me the signs that you see that it might stock split. I want to know what signs you see. Because price doesn't say if a stock gonna split or not. Price doesn't say that. Price doesn't say that. Because Netflix doesn't pay a dividend. So they really don't have a reason to split. Just like Berkshire never split, just like Bookings Holdings never split. Price doesn't mean they have to split. No, and I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying I want to know what's the signs that you think it'll split. That's all. I just want to know what's the signs that you think that you see. Let me change that because you may see something I don't see. You know what I'm saying? So what are some of the signs that you see that give you confidence in the split? I'm not mad at a split. I ain't gonna lie to you because them options get cheaper. Them options get way cheaper when they split. So yeah, so they split the stock with $700. So they done doubled that. They almost doubled that. So that's why I'm asking. So they split with it with $700. So and that was under Reed Hastings. So maybe we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. That was in you know what I'm saying? That was in 2015. Um yeah, that was under Reed Hastings. So you got a whole nother crew that's running it. So yeah.